Okay, this is Mr. Anderson for Kellogg Community College. We'll be doing a series of problems from Chapter 7, the factoring chapter. We're going to look in section 7.1 right now, and we're going to take a look at problems numbers 1 and 12. And the first problem, problem number 1, deals with finding the greatest common factor, or the GCF. The greatest common factor is the number that can divide everything evenly without decimals or remainders. So we're going to look at two numbers, 4 and 8x, and we're going to try to find the number that divides these evenly. And the answer that can divide 4 and 8x evenly is the answer 4. Now 4 can divide 4 evenly, and that would make an answer of 1. And 8x can be divided by 4 evenly, and that would make an answer of 2x. Now, the reason why x can't divide both of these evenly is neither of them, actually one of them has an x and the other doesn't. It has to be what they both have in common. Let's take a look at problem number 12, which is another GCF problem. And in this case, the problems are much more complicated, bigger problems. You have 18 x to the 5th, y to the 4th, and I'm going to put commas to separate these, 6 x to the 6th, y cubed, and then 12 x to the 4th, y to the 5th. Now, when we get down to our answer, we got to think to ourselves, now, what number can divide the 18, 6, and 12 evenly? What variable can divide x to the 5th, x to the 6th, and x to the 4th evenly? And what variable can divide y to the 4th, y cubed, and y to the 5th evenly? Well, let's take this one step at a time. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at the number that can divide 18, 6, and 12 evenly. And that would be the number 6. Because if I divide each of these by the number 6, this gives me an answer of 3, 1, and 2 respectively. Now you'll notice I did not write down the 1 because I will show you that we have to continue on dividing because I have common x's and common y's in each of these three terms. Now what divides the x to the 5th, x to the 6th, and x to the 4th evenly? Well, that would be x to the 4th. It's the highest power. Actually, it's the lowest power of all of these different variables. Because x to the 5th divided by x to the 4th is x. X to the 6th divided by x to the 4th is x squared. And x to the 4th divided by x to the 4th is 1. Now you'll notice I didn't put a 1 in front of here because 1 times x squared is just x squared. But I do need to indicate that x to the 4th is also part of my greatest common factor. Okay, what number can divide, or what variable can divide y to the 4th, y cubed, and y to the 5th? It's the lowest power among all of those, y cubed. And just as a quick reminder, if you were a little lost on where I was getting my answers down here, when you divide common bases, the exponents subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1, so y to the 1st. 3 minus 3 is 0, y to the 0, which is 1, so there it is, x squared. That is our only term left in this problem, or only part of this term left in this problem. And then y to the 5th and y cubed, which brings us down to y squared. 5 minus 3 is 2. And so my answer is 6x to the 4th, y cubed, as my greatest common factor.